Good evening, everyone. My name is Andrew Martin. I'm your prosecuting attorney. Here to talk to you a little bit about fraud prevention this evening, and talk to you about being able to rebuild safely. Who's seen either my Rebuilding Safely presentation or our Fraud Fighter presentation before? Anyone seen it before? Okay, a few hands in the room. All right. What we're going to do is I just want to talk to you a little bit about giving you some tips, providing you some information that'll help you make good, sound decisions as people continue to rebuild. My department, along with my police department and a few of our other law enforcement partners, are actively currently investigating some cases of fraud in the community. As Mayor said, we are getting more and more of these cases come in. This presentation or presentations like it are the single most requested presentation we get. And it started right here about a year ago. And since that time, the more presentations like this we get, the more information we receive, the more comfortable people are coming and sitting down with us and talking to us about their experience. As Mayor said, we want you to come forward. We want you to sit down, provide us the information, share with us your experience, so that we can do the background information, the background work, the investigation necessary to determine if your particular situation rises to the level of criminal conduct. We want to hold these individuals accountable, all right? And we need your help. We need your help. But first, let's start with some tips. Let's start with some things that we want you to be looking out for, okay? As you look for someone to help you rebuild, we want you to, if possible, look for a licensed contractor. I know there's an owner-builder path as well, right? But we want you looking for licensed contractors to help you. But that doesn't mean that all licensed contractors are ethical, sound business people engaged in good business practices. So there's some red flags we want you to look out for, okay? And one of the ones we have seen time and time again is the request for massive down payments, all right? There is no law in the state of Hawaii that sets a ceiling for what down payment a licensed contractor can accept before a job. But what we recommend, after talking to our ethical, sound business partners in the community who are licensed contractors, is that you not provide a down payment in excess of 10 to 20%. That 20% is the ceiling, all right? That's our recommendation. We are seeing sometimes down payments being requested far greater than that, all right? $500,000-$600,000 in some cases that amount to almost the entire job up front. Pressures for immediate decisions, okay? And one of the things we see frequently, which we want to make sure you're aware of, is that, hey, we're exceptionally busy because everyone is rebuilding. Everyone is rebuilding, right? So listen, if you give us X amount of dollars now, I can put you up near the top of the list, all right? You sign today, give me X amount of dollars, I can put you at the top of the list and get to work right away, all right? We want you to be very cognizant of the fact that that should be a red flag for you, even with licensed contractors. As we'll talk about later, it's very important that you get bids for your rebuilding, all right? We recommend a minimum of 3 bids, and we want you to be very wary of low bids that are way below what your other 2 bids are, all right? It is not uncommon for even licensed contractors to come in with an extremely low bid to try and win your business. One of the things we are seeing is that contractors are taking on a volume of work that they are not built to handle, all right? They're doing this through extremely low bids, and then they end up chasing their tail, looking for the next job, the next victim to come along and help them continue to fund this cycle of work that they cannot handle. Now, whether that becomes criminal, well, that's for us to decide, but it is bad business practice, it is unethical, and ultimately it harms you as the person trying to get your home rebuilt, because you have an individual who you've signed on with who cannot handle the volume of work that they have, who is not going to be working on your property the way they should. All right? So please be very wary of low bids. Anyone who doesn't provide a detailed written contract, folks, they're licensed contractors. They need to give you a contract. It needs to be in writing. It needs to be detailed. It needs to set forth specific, such as what the total amount of the work is going to be in terms of dollars, what the down payment is going to be, and what the scheduled payments are, okay? Payments should be tied to certain milestones, all right? When certain phases of the job are completed, then payment is due only upon the completion of those particular phases of work. And that should all be set forth in the contract, right? What we're seeing a lot of is unlicensed contractors, and this comes in one of two different ways, right? Particularly unlicensed contractors who are holding themselves out as licensed contractors, okay? If you have someone that you're working with or someone who wants to work with you, all right, and they are telling you or making either outright telling you that they're a licensed contractor or saying things that make you believe that they're a licensed contractor, all right, but they're stating that you are going to be required, because it'll save you money, it'll save you time. What we're going to do is we're going to have you apply for all the permitting. Red flag. Red flag. Okay? We are seeing time and time again unlicensed contractors taking advantage of people in our community, not just in Lahaina, but all over the island. All right? There is a certain monetary threshold of work, a handyman exception, if you will, where that level of work is okay for someone to be unlicensed. Once they get above that relatively low level of money, they need to be licensed in order to do the entire job as a licensed contractor for you. All right. If they cannot provide any proof of licensing, insurance, bonding, that's a red flag. Anyone who insists on cash payments only or massive payments up front, including the total amount, red flag. All right. Anyone who is, again, asking you to apply for that owner-builder permit as a way to save you money or time, but holding themselves out as a licensed contractor, telling you right now they're not. So what are the tactics we're seeing? We're seeing price gouging, contractors who are charging exorbitant rates for materials and work, lowballing that offer, that bid in order to get your business, and then because they've lowballed it and they cannot make a profit off this, you're going to see what they call change orders start to ramp up. All right. Unexpected things came along. We need different types of materials. We need to put in these chains. It's going to cost you more. It's going to cost you more. They come back to you. I can't do anything else unless you give me another $50,000 above what we originally talked about. Another $100,000, $175,000 above what we talked about. Now, that's not to say that things don't come up in construction that were unexpected. They do. All right? A licensed ethical contractor is going to explain that to you. That's going to be built into the contract so that those things are covered in advance. All right? And then, we see time and time again abandonment of work. You sign up with the individual who you believe to be a contractor or who is a licensed contractor. You give them a ton of money. They do partial work, and then you just don't see them again. Right? You call them, you email them, and you don't hear from them anymore. All right? This is something we are seeing time and time again. So let's talk about some smart steps and how you can protect yourself. Verify licenses, insurance. I'm going to put a QR code up here in a little bit that'll take you to Department of Commerce and Consumer Affairs website, their Maui Strong link, which will give you all the links that you need to, number one, look at your general contractor's license or the person holding themselves out as a general contractor to check on their license, as well as the subcontractors to make sure that you have all the information and links and phone numbers that you need to be able to make sure that these people who are holding themselves out as professionals, you're able to verify that for yourselves. All right? Again, get multiple bids. Okay? I understand that someone may have done work for your neighbor's uncle's buddy a while ago, 10, 15 years ago. They did such good work. This is the guy to go with. Okay? Get multiple bids. All right? And again, that lets you see a couple things. Number one, what the high bid is. Okay? What the low bid is, and then what's kind of in the middle. You don't have to just get 3, get more if you want. All right? But we're looking to trying to put you in a position where you can identify outliers, okay? And the ones I'm really worried about are those really low bids that look really good, but guess what? They're too good to be true, okay? Never pay in full up front. Don't pay exorbitant down payments. Do your research by checking online, but you know, Mayor referenced some of the best research you can do. We're far enough into this now where this community knows who the bad actors are. All right? Ask your neighbors, ask your friends, ask your other community members who are rebuilding as well and what they've heard about what some of these licensed and unlicensed contractors are doing. Ask them for names. All right? These names are out there. They're circulating. So that is a great source of information for everyone. And then document everything. Keep copies of contracts, receipts, invoices, text messages, emails, phone calls, voicemails, all right? Document everything, keep copies of everything. Take photos of the work, the property as work is progressing, okay? So, everyone take out your phones. This QR code here will take you to the Maui Strong website at the Department of Commerce and Consumer Affairs. Especially, they've improved the website. I just was on it the other day, and particularly on your phone. It's very easy to use. It gives you the links on how to do several things: how to file a complaint, how to look up the individual in terms of their licensing, how to what you need to know, and how you can look up subcontractors to make sure they're licensed. It's a very helpful website. Please take a photo of that. And then where can you find help? Listen, some of these cases and some of the things we're seeing in the community right now, some of it is criminal. It's fraud. Some of it is bad business practices and unethical behavior. All right? Remember that there is a tremendous amount of good work being done in this community too. There are contractors who are ethical, who are engaging good business practices and are helping to rebuild this community in an impactful way. All right, I don't want to leave that unsaid. All right, whether it's criminal or whether you've been the victim of a contractor who's engaged in just bad business practices, we still want you to come forward, sit down with us, and provide us the information so that we can be able to kind of investigate and assess which area we're in. All right? You can do that in a couple of different ways. One is by calling the Maui Police Department. Their non-emergency line is 244-6400 and make a report. Now, I know a lot of people in this community have done that already, only to find out that their report was designated as civil only, or to follow up on it only to find out that nothing has happened. Now, sometimes that's the case. And if that happened to you or someone you know, I want you to reach out to my office, okay? Because we can follow up on that. So our main line is 270-7777. And I also want you, more importantly, to send an email to prosecuting.attorney@mauicounty.gov. Right now, we have a small team of deputies and investigators who are just working fraud cases in Lahaina. Okay, we are actively working these cases. We are partnering with MPD and other law enforcement partners to be able to make sure that we can investigate the full breadth of what we think is going on. All right? But we need you to help us out. We need you to come forward. All right? I've already had a couple people come up and talk to me already. If you're in the room because you fear you've been the victim of fraud, I want you to come talk to us tonight. With me this evening is Ana Malafu Eliesa. She's our director of our Victim Witness Services Division. We're going to sit down. We want to take your name, your number, your email. We want to know the address of the property where the work is being done. All right? And then we want to be able to reach out to you to continue the investigative work that we're currently engaged in. But connecting you with Ana is also important because we want to find ways that we can continue to help you. Even if this doesn't end up being a criminal case for you, what other services can we connect you with that might be helpful to you in your continued rebuilding process? All right? My job and my role is to investigate and prosecute crimes within the county of Maui, but really our responsibility goes far beyond that. All right? We are here to serve you, help and support you in any way that we can. And that's why I brought Ana with me today so you can meet her. We have some pamphlets and information and ways you can get in contact with our Victim Witness Division. Please come up, sit down, chat with us, get a flyer. Even if it's not for you, but one of your neighbors, friends, family members who you know have been a victim of fraud, please provide our information to them. We'd like to speak with them. All right? So key takeaways, please be patient. Don't feel pressured. Don't feel pressured to sign on the bottom line. And don't let anyone tell you that, hey, you got to give this big money up front. You got to sign today, otherwise you're going to the back of the line. It'll never happen. Don't feel pressured. Be patient. Verify, check licenses, check insurance, check references. Get everything in writing. Pay smart. Don't give big sums of money over to contractors or individuals holding themselves as contractors, okay? But most importantly, trust your gut. If something seems too good to be true, guess what? It is.